What's up, everyone? It's Rich Brecklin back with Arizona Life and eXp Realty. Today's video is going to be a little different than some of the others I've done. This is going to be really a full-on driving tour, my take on what it is really like to live right here in Gilbert, Arizona. So if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. This channel, I go over what it is like to live right here in Arizona, what it was like for me and my family and our dog to pick up everything, move from Illinois, head west 1,600 miles, and make Arizona our home, and how I'm helping my clients do the exact same thing. Now, if this is not your first time here, welcome back, because I greatly appreciate it. And you know, I know how busy we all are, and for people to take the time out of their day to watch the videos I create, it really does mean a lot to me. So with that, I really do want to say thank you. It means a lot to me. But I really also would appreciate if you just gave me some feedback. What do you want to see? What do you have questions on? What do you don't want to see? Because the last thing I want to do is put out content that people can't stand, to some degree. I'm not saying I'm going to, but just let me know. And also, you know, please like, comment, subscribe. That really does help me. It helps me understand what I should do better for you guys and what you need help with. So today, again, I'm going to go over what it is like to live right here in Gilbert, Arizona, one of America's favorite towns. You know, the reason we chose to live in Gilbert versus all of the other communities we could have called home. Right now, I'm cruising through one of my favorite communities in Gilbert, Santana Ranch. Awesome community, a lot to do here, a lot of great homes, and as you can see by the pine in front of me and the cactus behind me, also some great landscaping, and depending on what it is you're looking for. Now, I always get turned around inside here, but we'll make our way out. So first, let's kick it off with, you know, why Gilbert? Why has Gilbert exploded to where it is today? You know, what has made Gilbert so great, and why did we choose to take our family? You know, it's not like we have family here. Why did we choose to leave where we are comfortable, business is great, life is great, and come and make Gilbert, Arizona home? And there are a lot of reasons that go into that. One, Gilbert it's a great growing community. You know, it has already grown so much from what it was. You know, in 1990, there's 30,000 people, and now there's, well, probably over 260,000 people. And it can accommodate probably up to 330,000 from what I've told with the infrastructure. So there's still quite a bit of space here, and there's still, you know, there's room for other developments, which is awesome. But why did we come here? So for one, you know, again, we're comfortable where we were. I loved where we lived. I was, you know, born and raised there. I was a cop there for 13 years. I knew it like the back of my hand. It was great. But opportunity. So not just opportunity in business for my real estate career, but also for our family, for our daughters. So we're looking like, all right, where could we see our daughters going if they stayed in Illinois versus if we came to Arizona? Now, mind you, I'd only been here, I think, one other time, and that was 12 years before we decided to make the move. So it's not like I had all this, you know, firsthand knowledge. We loved Arizona, but, you know, just looking at a lot of different factors when it came to calling Arizona home. You know, obviously you have the weather. As I shoot this on a, what is it right now? It is 73 degrees. And it is going to be warming up in the 80s on a February day. So obviously that is a huge pro, not having to deal with the cold gray skies. But also, you know, the economy. Now, I'm not into politics, but the politics of Illinois were killing that state. So here, it just seemed like it fit our lifestyle much better, and just the future of what we wanted. And the economy here, with so many people coming here, and not just people like us, you know, moving here for whatever reason, but businesses. I mean, the business growth here is off the charts. I mean, Arizona just implemented like a $52 billion CHIPS Act. So there's so many microchip plants coming here. The big one that made news was from Taiwan, the semiconductor plant. And that coming here, putting in, you know, billions with a B dollars into this area is going to be huge. And so I know people, my clients, who are specifically looking to build and buy homes in that area because they know the appreciation and the growth is going to be off the charts. Now that's not in Gilbert, but it's close enough where we will see the ripple effect of that, because more and more people just coming to the valley will attract more and more people to Gilbert. And not necessarily if they, the business comes to Gilbert, but people will still live in Gilbert to commute. I mean, Gilbert's still considered a town, even though it has over 250,000 people. But real quick, so right now I'm heading into my favorite community of all time in Gilbert, and that is Power Ranch. Now, I've done other videos of Power Ranch, so if you're familiar with my channel, you know I'm a little biased to Power Ranch. So Power Ranch, it's my favorite for a lot of reasons. One, you really have that community feel. So as you see over here, we have Centennial School. That's just one of 2 schools in Power Ranch. So pretty cool for the kids who live in the area, get to go right to school where they live. So it's really nice for that community feeling. Also in Power Ranch, you have 2 lakes, community lakes, catch and release fishing, so that's pretty awesome, and 2 community pools. Now if you live in, there's 11 different neighborhoods within Power Ranch. So if you, I think it's the Knolls, also has their own private pool where only those residents get to go to. But they also have a little bit higher of a HOA. So HOA here is $1,100 a year, but it's worth it. I mean, just having the lakes to go to and the pools to go to and 26 miles of walking paths, it definitely makes it worth it. And also in each neighborhood in Power Ranch, there's its own little park. So as we come up here, we're heading into the Willows, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but straight ahead down to the dip, there's a park right there for these residents. So you have, slide and swings, same volleyball court, a bunch of green space for kids to run around and take your dogs for a walk. So that's why we love Power Ranch. And home prices range, I mean, they've gone up like everywhere, but home prices are anywhere from mid 4s, which is climbing now, up to a million, 1.1, and they even have homes with basements. So if that's what you're looking for and that's what you need, Power Ranch is definitely going to be the spot for you. And it's also why we chose to call it home for our family. It was exactly what we were looking for my wife and I and our 2 daughters to live in an area. It was just perfect for our family. And I don't know if that's the case for you, but for us, that's why we made that decision, and just that overall safe feeling. Now, there's no area that is 100% safe. You don't have to worry about anything, but like I said, I was a cop for 13 years in a violent area. So when I'm choosing an area to call home, I look at probably differently than most people do. And my tools and resources and skills of how I seek out different things about an area, safety reasons, and just crime. I mean, Power Ranch was perfect for that, and Gilbert too. Like I said, crime can happen anywhere, but I did not see the statistics showing me that I had to worry about violent crime in Gilbert, Arizona being something I had to really worry about. That doesn't mean I don't leave home without a gun, but that's the other thing about Arizona. I mean, not everyone, but it's an open carry state. Not that saying I don't open carry, but if that's what you like to do, you can come do it here in Arizona. So we're on Power, headed south, and we're coming up to Germain. Now I know it looks like German or German, but it is pronounced Germain. Now this is one of the busier streets in this area, just in this neighborhood. But the good thing is, if you live on this side of Power Ranch and you're trying to get over to the other side in the other school and you want to walk, your kids want to go to a friend's house, if you're on the paths, sorry if I can't speak today, but there's a tunnel that goes under Germain. So that's pretty nice. That way you don't have to worry about crossing a busy road, because people here, they tend to not pay attention, and there's a ton of accidents. I say that as I adjust this. So I don't want to also cause an accident. But yeah, so Jermaine gets pretty busy, especially during peak rush hour. So just something to be mindful of. But I love the trees on Jermaine. When we first visited here, when we knew we were moving here, we came and stayed at Airbnb in the neighborhood, and just driving Jermaine, just the trees and seeing the mountains straight ahead of me. I mean, it was just, it's an awesome feeling. I wish it would show up on this video. I'm not sure if it will, but it's just a beautiful feeling seeing, sometimes the palm trees and the mountains ahead, and it's what we really love. We really love that. And then the blue skies. Like I said, it's February, and I mean, I have the air on my truck, and I mean, it's blue skies. It's beautiful. So before we came here, like, we were never like depressed, upset people. It was just, we were always pretty happy, pretty easygoing, laid back. But after we had lived here for a little while, and we went back to Illinois to visit, and we just realized like how upset, like grumpy everyone was. But then we started looking at it, like, well, look at Arizona. Look what we have. We have 300 plus days of sunshine every year. And that may not sound like it's that big a deal, but when you have the sunshine, the vitamin D, and just, I don't know, to me it just puts me in a better mood, and I think it probably puts everyone else in a better mood. It's just, it's a nice feeling. It's nice having that. Yeah, I mean, I'll gladly take that. Now, I will say, the snow is nice for one day, but if you are living in Gilbert and you miss snow, head up to Flagstaff and you can get the snow out of your system there. One cool thing at Power Ranch during Christmas time, they brought in a snow machine and made a ton of snow, and kids go sledding. So that was pretty cool if you really wanted to see snow, but I've seen enough snow in my life. I was kind of over it. So now we're on Higley and we're headed north. Now Higley, there's a ton of other businesses you can get through up at Higley, other major arteries and cut-throughs in Gilbert. The really good thing about this area is it's set up like a grid. So again, coming from Illinois, where I knew 100 blocks, I could look at a house and tell you, the 100 block in the street and the area it was on, north, south. I knew that area like the back of my hand, like truly better than anyone. So coming here, it was like, oh man, it was a little out of my comfort zone. But I mean, having it set up like a grid system, it made it really, really easy for me to learn just exactly where I was going. So I think don't get too overwhelmed by that. And plus, I mean, most people use their cell phones for GPS now anyway. But if you get lost, just understand. Once you understand, some of the major roadways you're looking for, and have some sense of direction, you'll be okay. We're also just passing a Fry's grocery store. Fry's is a Kroger brand, so if you are familiar with Kroger, you'll know Fry's. It'll pretty much set up the same way. Now this is an older Fry's here. The newer Fry's and larger Fry's, you have like Super Kroger, so they have Fry's and Marketplace. And there's one maybe 5 minutes from here. So the really nice thing about living in Gilbert, all your amenities for the most part are relatively close. So again, living in Power Ranch, you have this Fry's, a few minutes away. The Super Fry's Marketplace on Williamsfield and Wrecker, which is, I don't know, maybe just a few more minutes away. But everything is pretty close, and it makes it really easy, especially as it gets busy. The last thing you want to do is have to drive 20 minutes, fight traffic, and deal with all that stuff. But we like that. We like having so many different options. And that's what our is in Gilbert. There's so many options, so many different businesses, whether it be mom and pop shops or chain places. There are a ton of options here. Either bars, restaurants, other stores, supplement shops. It's really common here. And on the supplement topic, there's so much of a fitness lifestyle here. You see so many people out, running and jogging and doing whatever, hiking. We love that about here. It is a welcome feeling. So, you almost like you have your tribe here of people who want to work out and live a healthier lifestyle. I did see a meme the other day. The more random people you see outside running and jogging, the more expensive the houses are going to be. And I mean, with the average here being, $550-ish, $6, I could see how that is, because the average home price here is climbing. So the average, I think in January was $559, and then I think I just checked today and it's like $596. So it's climbing. Now the median is still a touch under 5. So, you know, if you don't understand the difference between median and average, pretty much median is the middle. But, you know, a couple years ago, 2 years ago, that was in the low 3s. But the good thing is, again, the popularity and draw to Gilbert is that equity, that home value is going to continue to rise. So I'm telling my clients who are so worried, like, oh, you know, and I get it. Like, the last thing I want somebody to do is overpay for a home. But my clients who have waited, well, now they're buying, and the same home, same everything. Now they're paying $130,000 more to be what they would have got last year, and it's going to continue to rise over the next few years. So, you know, I understand that thought, but take advantage of that equity growth while you can, because renting is going to be just as expensive. I mean, in Power Ranch, you want to rent a 3-bed, 2.5 bath home, you're going to be paying $2,800 a month. So that's quite a bit of money, and that's 100% interest. But everyone's different. I do have a program, though, that works for people who, you know, are moving here. Maybe they're not quite ready to buy or want to try a neighborhood out before they buy it. And that's exactly what it is. It lets them try it before they buy it. So you sign a year lease, or you can extend it up to 5, but you get to pick out of homes that are listed for sale, and you get to rent them. And then if you like it, you get to buy it, but you don't have to. So it's a really good option, especially for my clients who are relocating here. You know, they know they want to buy, but they're just not quite sure, and they're not ready to make that commitment and make that leap yet. So this is, you know, really good at mitigating risk. The only thing they're chancing is buying that home or getting into that home later. But with the rent with the option to buy program, they know that purchase price the day they sign the lease. So it doesn't matter what the market does, that purchase price stays the same. So it's a really good option for some people, and some of my clients have taken advantage of it. So now we're headed up to Ray. So we are at Ray and Higley. As you can see, another apartment complex being built over there. That is moving quick and is going to be, you know, huge. More housing is good for people since more and more people are coming here. Now I'll shoot over onto Gilbert Road because we're going to head downtown Gilbert, also known as the Heritage District. I can't talk today, but that is one of our favorite spots to go. It's a spot my wife and I first went to when we came here without the kids, and we love going down there. So many different things to do with the kids too, and back to, I'm all over the place today, but when we came here, like moving here, and how we did it is, first my wife and I came with my truck and the trailer stuff, and we moved everything to the house, got everything ready. We didn't bring much furniture, so we went and picked up furniture, got that all ordered, and then did some other stuff. And then we left my truck, flew home, had a pod shipped here, and then 2 weeks later we drove back again with her car and another trailer with the kids and the dog from Illinois to Arizona. And honestly, it's a really, really easy drive. There are some tips I could share, and maybe that could be another video, or if you have questions on it, send me an email, a phone call. But it's easy, it's just long, and I don't want to make that drive again. But yeah, it's an easy drive, and it's really pretty when you're coming north down into Phoenix. So if you're coming from the north, through Payson, it's a really great view. So I definitely recommend that. So we're still in Gilbert, headed on Higley north, and going over the 202. 202 is awesome to help get around, bypass a lot of the traffic going into Phoenix. So before the 202, it would have been a nightmare to get into Phoenix. So the 202 is really nice. So we'll take that when we're headed to the Phoenix airport. It's like a 28-minute drive, super easy. It's not a big pain to deal with at all. The other good thing living in Gilbert is you're close to Mesa, also the Mesa airport. So if we're flying Allegiant heading back to Peoria, Illinois, then Mesa airport is like 5-10 minutes away. Really low key, really small airport. So it makes it super easy. And we like hanging out there. Every once in a while you'll have the Air Force and their planes will be there for training. Just this last weekend they were there out of Texas, out of Del Rio, because where they're going to go, it was too cold, so they came up here, hung out for a week. It was really cool to get to see those T-38s up close and the pilots, and just, you know, for the kids to be 50 yards from those, you know, training fighter jets from the 60s, which are still in production, or not in production, but still, you know, being used today. It's really cool, and I'm glad they get to experience that here. So again, I don't know if you can see this, but, you know, off to my right, you have the Superstition Mountains, and it's really cool to see those, especially twice a year. And we like to see it if we're coming on the 60, but there's a shadow at sunset that is of a cougar, and it looks like it's pouncing down on something. So twice a year it happens, in the fall and the spring. But again, it's a really cool thing to see, and just another neat thing about living in Arizona. And speaking of the Superstition Mountains, again, they're not in Gilbert, it's in, you know, Apache Junction area, but it's a really cool area to go to. The Lost Dutchman State Park is nice, and you can use that Maricopa County Pass, $85 for a year, to go to any Maricopa County area park. So Lost Dutchman, Santan, Usury, any of those. But the hiking is really good up there. We've done guided night hikes with a park ranger. We have done scorpion hunts, which sounds crazy, but you just go at night. They give you tongs and something to collect them in, and use a black light, and you're out there and looking for scorpions. Something I never, ever thought I would want to do is look for a scorpion. But it was actually, I learned quite a bit about scorpions. There's 4 species here. The bark scorpion, which is the smallest and also the most painful if you get stung by one. But they are everywhere. So we found, I think there's like 100 of us or so, and in 45 minutes we found over 200 scorpions that we collected. It was pretty crazy. It's really cool seeing them under the black light. So we collected them, they counted them, surveyed them, and then they let them go, which is fine with me. We were in their house, so, you know, I wasn't looking to kill them, but just stay out of my house, and we won't have any issues. It did make me realize I don't think I will be going camping in the desert anytime soon. Those things, they're everywhere. Like I said, maybe those leave me alone, but that's all right. But we do love, that's what we love about living in Gilbert. We are close to places like that. We are close to Usury in Mesa, close to Santan Mountain Range in Queen Creek. And each one is a little bit different. So we can go take the kids on a walk or a hike. And my kids are 3 and 7 years old. So it's not like we're gonna take them on a hike with a pack and just a ton of stuff. It's gonna be really, you know, difficult. And the good thing is they have trails that are really easy. I see people of all ages, shapes, size, fitness levels at the trails, because they have that option. You don't have to be in amazing shape, but it's also, if you want to test your abilities, you can go do that. Just please make sure you drink water. I ran an 8K, and I'm not a runner, but it was awesome. It was awesome training for it, and it was awesome doing it. And that was at the Santan Mountain Range, and it was a ton of fun, and it was really hard. But it's stuff like that, which is why we love living in Gilbert. There's just so much. It's so much to do. It's just, there's nothing. And I don't just say this because I live in Gilbert, because I'm a real estate agent here, but there's truly nothing about living here that we don't like. You know, even the heat. I was never a person who loved the heat, but even living on the Valley of the Sun, in the Valley of the Sun, it isn't like it doesn't really bother me. Yes, it is hot. Yes, it is hot. But one, make sure you have water. Make sure you have water. Make sure you're prepared, and just plan ahead. And I mean, like I said, I wear my daily attire is usually a polo or a t-shirt, jeans, and cowboy boots that are 40 years old. If you meet me 9 times out of 10, that is what I'll be wearing, and that's what I'll wear in the summer too. And it is not that bad. The weird thing is when you know it's hot, it's 115, and you're like, I'm not sweating, because it is evaporating just as quick as you're sweating. So, you know, it is a little weird. And you know, at first out here when we're outside, I'm like, this is hot. This is no joke. But it's crazy how quick we adapted after living here to that heat. So just, I will take the heat over those freezing cold days any day out of the year. So we can always go to the pool. And I know some people are like, it just feels like bath water. Like, no, the pool feels nice. I don't care. We love going to the pool. The kids love going to the pool. So we make sure we put sunscreen on them. And I mean, they'll be there. They love hanging out there all day. So it's, yeah, I mean, the pool, having the pool in Power Ranch, like we don't have a pool in our own backyard, which is fine because I don't want to worry about the kids. But having the 2 community pools that are part of our HOA, that is huge. I love having that. So yeah, having the pool in the summertime is awesome. And that's, if you are looking at coming here, I think, and you want a pool, but maybe you don't want one in your backyard, looking at those neighborhoods and those HOAs that have that community pool, because it does make it really nice, at least for our kids. And, when they're off school in the summer and they want to go. One thing that we were not, is a little different than when we were here, is the school calendar. So where we came from a private school. One, it was super small. I think my daughter's first grade class, there's 6 kids, and they combine with second grade for a total of like 13 kids. Crazy. And here in her one school, there's like 4 second grade classes of like 20 to 30 kids each, which is nuts. But school starts in like end of July, like towards like the last week or second to last week of July, which is much earlier, 30 days or so earlier than she would have started. But they have a nice fall break, and they also have a nice winter break, and they also have a longer spring break. So honestly, I think it's great because, I mean, a lot of kids, I think, probably get bored over that long summer break, and I think parents probably are ready for their kids to go back to school also. But then having that long, that fall break is awesome, especially for, if we're going back to Illinois to visit people, or if people want to come visit us. It makes it really great where, they get to see all of us, not, my kids don't have school. So that's really cool. And they like it. So it's not a big deal for anyone. So just, again, something to think about. And when it comes to school, so there is open enrollment. But I mean, there's school districts and there's school boundaries, but there's open enrollment. So say you live in Queen Creek, you want to go to school in Gilbert. Well, it doesn't mean just because there's open enrollment you're going to get that. You do have to go on a list. It doesn't fill up like the open enrollment. Like, if there's not seats for people, then open enrollment those kids won't get in. But usually, I mean, everyone gets a seat. It just depends on the school and the area. But, we love school district in Gilbert. We love the school. I know in Arizona, they kind of get a bad rap in the Phoenix area and Arizona for some of the scores and some of the schools. But, I mean, our school district is highly rated, highly sought after. Again, that's why people choose Gilbert. So we were really comfortable with sending our kids in the Higley School District just because of the scores, and it's worked out well. She's adjusted really well. She loves it. It's really great for her to be around a lot more kids than what she was at. So again, each family is different, and you have to evaluate that. There's also charter schools. There's also private schools, and there's a lot of great options. So some good resources. I think greatschools.org is one to check out, and I think the private school review is privateschoolreview.net or privateschoolreview.com, but something like that. So Google that and you'll see reviews on private schools. But yeah, like I said, we truly love living in Gilbert. The only thing I do wish that was maybe a little bit different, I wish like we're closer to, now that Phoenix Coyotes they don't know where they're going to go. They're going to play at a 5,000 square foot arena. I wish they had something like that closer. Or maybe, the baseball field closer. I wish they had things like that closer. I mean, not that it's a long drive going to, into Glendale or into Phoenix to go see a game, but it'd be nice if it was just closer. The good thing is spring training in the Cactus League. I mean, Mesa has the Cubs right there. I'm not a Cub fan, even though I'm from Illinois. I'm a Cardinals fan. My wife is a Cub fan. She can't help it. She has bad taste. Obviously, she married me. But, if you want that, then you can go to spring training. And that's really cool, just to get to see, you know, some of your favorite teams in a different setting and a little more personal, intimate, if you want to say. But we get people from all over the country that come here for spring training, so that part is really cool. But yeah, I just wish there was bigger sport arenas close by, but that's me being picky. First world problems, I get it. But there's a lot of things, again, there's so much coming here and so much to do. So now we are on Gilbert Road headed north. And again, I love all the palm trees. And these are some older neighborhoods of Gilbert compared to like Power Ranch. Even though Power Ranch was around like 2001, give or take. But you have a lot of the older areas down here. Now, when we get into the Heritage District and downtown, you'll see some of the buildings are older, so those are more of the original ones. And then, I'm not sure on exactly the year when the new ones were built, maybe 10 to 15 years ago, is when they added on to those buildings. And then you can see like the transition into the new buildings. But there's, I mean, we don't shy away from going to those buildings. There's some really good restaurants there and some good places to go visit. So it really, they do have something for everyone. So if you're into, you know, the bar scene or barbecue, you can find it here. And speaking of barbecue, so they have Joe's Barbecue downtown, and then Caldwell Barbecue, which is up off of Power Road. Two of my top favorite. There's another really good one called Arizona Barbecue. I like that one. But for me, so far, my top two are Joe's and Caldwell. Caldwell reminds me of almost like you're being like back in the South. So I have family from Northern Alabama, and it kind of feels like that. Now, it's not quite Southern barbecue, but it's about as close as I've found since I've been here. And it's really good. But Joe's isn't bad either. Joe's, their sides are really good. I like it. I like the location of Joe's a little better just because it is in the Heritage District, and we find ourselves down here quite a bit. But all in all, I mean, I'm not gonna turn away either one of them. So if anyone's looking to to hook me up, I would gladly take brisket from both places. Now, if you come down here, you're gonna see a lot of murals on buildings. So I want to say there's like 25 different murals painted on the side of walls and buildings. They're really cool. So there's one over there just with a Gilbert scene. There's another one behind me that I pass. It says, you know, you're right where you belong, something like that. So if you find yourself there, take a picture and tag me. So hit me up on my Instagram. It's @RichBrecklin, and you know, I like seeing that kind of stuff. So now we're headed right in the middle of the Heritage District. So there's Joe's right in front of me, and then you have Postino, Joyride Taco, one amazing margaritas. Their tacos are really good, but yeah, I go for the margaritas, top notch. Dirk Bentley's Whiskey Row is up here. And then one of our favorite Mexican places is Barrio Queen. And a little story about Barrio Queen. So the first time we went there and we had we ordered some guacamole, and they did tableside, which I'm sure they hating people order that, but they started putting pomegranates. I'm like, what in the hell are they doing? But I'm like, hey, it's they know what they're doing, not me. So they put it in there. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot, and it was fantastic. So if you're going to get guacamole, or maybe you want to make it at home, put some pomegranates in it, and you will not be disappointed. Pomegranates, the touch of sweet and the tart with the heat of the jalapeno, it just works. It is so good. So recommend Barrio Queen. Get the tableside guac, and their margaritas are good as well. So nothing bad at either place, but it's nice to have both options right downtown Gilbert. So if we kept going north, we would run right into Mesa. And again, you can see more palms ahead of me, the mountains. It's something I will never get sick of. But I'm going to go east. I'm going to take a right here on Guadalupe and head back up to Power. But I'm also going to stop at a place that we love to go to called Ryperian Preserve. So Ryperian Preserve, it's a water resource, water conservation area using reclaimed water. There's lakes you can fish at. There's over 200 species of birds there, trails. Again, just really nice things to go and see. And there's a lot of places like that. Not so much as far as like research and conservation, but just parks like that. You know, when we told everyone we were moving here, and people were like, oh, why would you want to move to Arizona? It's so ugly and brown. I mean, as you can see this video, it looks pretty green to me. It's greener than I thought it would be. And I think that's awesome. And another thing is I was surprised about is just how many areas with lakes are. Now they're, depending on where you come from. If you come from Minnesota, you'll think these are not lakes. But just like the neighborhood, you know, the 1 to 2 acre lakes, give or take. I don't know, to me it's pretty cool. Our last house, we lived on a lake and we loved it. So it's nice to be able to, you know, to kind of have that here in Gilbert. But a lot of the parks have lakes like that. Like Gilbert Regional Park, which is a new park, huge park. I mean, basketball courts, pickleball, tons of different stuff, splash pad, an amphitheater. The park is like multi-level, and then they have a big lake there. There's Freestone Park, what is it? Discovery Park. There's tons of parks like that, and almost all of them have water. I think it's Discovery Park where they had a bunch of little old guys in remote control sailboats one day. It's kind of cool. So maybe I'll join their club if they let me. But yeah, there's a lot of cool parks like that. They're just here and they're free. So it's nice to be able to use parks like that and use the community in which you live, and you know, take our kids there. So when we moved here, we did something every weekend, and we're still doing something every weekend. There's so much to do, and not just in Gilbert, but all around. A friend of mine who was born and raised here, he was saying, you know, you guys have done more in 6 weeks since you moved here than I've done my whole life. I go, yeah, there's so much to do. So probably for the locals, maybe you get used to it and you just don't think of it anymore. Because I'll be talking about something to a local, like, wait, what? I've never heard of that. So again, you know, there's so much to do here. You just got to look for it and know where to look. And that's what I'm trying to help people with this channel is, you know, what to do and where to find it. And speaking of locals, so it's kind of funny. I mean, so many people are moving here, and so many people want to come here, just like we did. And when you meet someone, it's always within the first few minutes, people ask, oh, where are you from? It's just common knowledge that most people you meet are not from here. And some people may not like that. Some people maybe get tired of, you know, transplants coming here, and I get that, you know. But you know, we just try and be good people wherever we go. But it really, I think, helped our daughters with transitioning, especially our oldest. You know, when she's coming here, is, you know, being the new kid. No one likes to be the new kid in school, but she wasn't the only new kid, and she won't be the only new kid. I mean, so many people are from somewhere else, so it's a common denominator, some sort of commonality, common ground. I use common a lot right there, but it's just something where people can bond over of being from somewhere else and talk about where you're from and bring those experiences here. Even on my youngest, on her soccer team, there's like 6 kids. 3 of us are from Illinois. So if that tells you anything about how great Illinois is, where everyone wants to leave, there you go. But it's awesome. I mean, there's a friend of mine who I was a cop with. You know, he ended up moving out here and becoming a cop. Another friend of mine who was a real estate agent back in Peoria, Illinois. He's a real estate agent out here. So I know so many people who have moved here, and you know, I guarantee if you talk to people, they're going to know someone who has moved to Arizona. It is just, I mean, it's a destination spot. People want to be here. And not just Arizona. I mean, people are like, Austin, Texas is big, Nashville's blowing up, but Phoenix, Arizona, it continues to get an influx of people, mainly from like Southern California, San Bernardino, the Seattle, Washington area, Minneapolis, I think that's Hennepin County in Minnesota, and Cook County, Chicago area. So I track the migration patterns. You can track migration patterns of tax dollars using the website How Money Walks. Just nice to know of where people are going, where people are coming from, and it always shows, you know, the counties which we gain people from, tax dollars from, and also who we lost them to. The Arizona is definitely, they're gaining. Maricopa County especially is gaining people, and it's from people, I think, looking for a change of where they're coming from. And also with people understanding they can work remotely and they get to choose where they live. I mean, I still operate a real estate business in Illinois, and I can still help my clients buy and sell there with my team in Illinois from Arizona. The day and age of people using Zoom, it's just widely accepted right now, and hopefully it will be for the future, just with technology. But that's for a different video. So before I shut this off, though, I want to drive up through Ryperian Preserve, and then I'll end it. But I do want to say thank you for sticking around this long, because I don't know if anyone has, but if you have, definitely appreciate it. And yeah, just thank you. But follow me on Instagram if you really want to see a raw, unedited of what it looks like to live in Arizona through my eyes, through my family's eyes. My Instagram is @RichBrecklin, and you'll probably see it floating throughout this video. And then if you're looking to move here, just questions. I mean, I'm low pressure, but reach out on Instagram, or my contact information is in the description. But as always, I do appreciate everyone who likes, comments, subscribes on these videos, because I know there are a lot of content creators out there. So I'm just trying to help and give it from a different perspective, from a father of daughters and former police officer, real estate agent, and just from from my eyes and why we love living in Gilbert, Arizona so much. But we're gonna be coming up here as soon as this light changes. I'll be letting you go. So you do have a library over there, so that's nice. And when you get up to Ryperian Preserve, so it's at Greenfield and Guadalupe. Now you can park on Greenfield just before the library, or you can access it from off of Guadalupe. So it depends on how busy it is, because sometimes, especially this time of year, when it's not ungodly hot, it gets busier. But obviously you come here in July at 2 in the afternoon, you're probably gonna be the only person out there, because it's going to be 116 degrees, and people don't want to be out there when it's 116 degrees. I don't get it. All right, but it's a nice spot. And yes, it is busy today. And the good thing is this is free, so it's free to use. There's no mission. Now they do events here, like during Christmas. They had Christmas lights. You could just go walk around. That was really cool. But it's just neat to see. The kids love it. There's tons of stuff for the kids to do here. As you see here, you have some cactus. You can go walk around. So you can get that for your Instagram photo shoot. Influencers in the wild, you will love that. Or if the kids just want to be up close and personal to a saguaro, there you go. But like I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I hope this person doesn't back into me. They're not looking. That's all right. But yeah, please hit me up if you need anything. Like, comment, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And when you're ready to make Arizona your life, let me know. It's Rich Brecklin with eXp Realty. I'll see you on the next one.